Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another hopefully interesting discussion today on another Minecraft discussion. We're about all things well-being and becoming the boss of your brain. My name is Kimberly Quinn with an itch. There we go. And so we're going to do the fourth ACOA part today, part 4. And then maybe we'll take a little break and do something different and come back to it because it is intense. The thing is, it's important because a rather large percentage of, at least of the United States anyway, has adults walking around out there feeling different. That's because we are. You know, we grew up with not really knowing what normal was, and we grew up in an entirely different environment. And so it's super important to have this discussion because there are certain traits that ACOAs or adult children of alcoholics take on. And that's it. So we're going to talk. So today we're going to talk about kind of what's sort of is going to stem out of the last one, which was role reversal. And a lot of us have experienced that. That's what, of course, when the child takes on part of the parental role, which can be actually cooking or it can be emotional being. That was more the deal for me. But so the constant we tend to end up seeking lots of approval sort of consistently and affirmation, like tell me I'm a good person. We're not saying that in our heads maybe, but you know, validation for being worthy, validation for being, you know, sort of allowed to walk on the planet. It makes really great sense because if you think about it, all kids, from non-addicted homes, addicted homes, neurotypical, non-neurotypical, whatever, we all learn about ourselves from mirroring. That's how it goes. And those who are the most important to us on our inner circle, usually the parents, are how we learn about ourselves and how we learn to feel good about ourselves. I'm actually out in my front yard today, so you might have a little bit of that sloshy stuff going by. Anyway, this is how we learn about ourselves, with the mirroring, and how we learn what love is, how we learn that we're valuable and worthy and unique and wonderful beings. And so that's going to take a different spin when we grow up in a home, an addicted home, or not necessarily so, but where there's a lot of shame. Because remember, we talked about it. Shame is the most toxic emotion a human being can experience, because it means it's those feelings of being flawed and defective and damaged goods and broken. And so when a little baby enters into that, the grown-ups are also they're coming from a place of brokenness, and we've all got some brokenness, and we're not talking about perfect, anything like that. Intense shame, though, is super, super toxic, and so often, not always, the child's mirroring of themselves is really distorted, and often, not always, children learn that they have to work for love, they have to work for the good stuff, and this is why we grow up into adults constantly seeking approval and affirmation. You know, tell me I'm a good person. Tell me I'm a good person. Was that okay? So this is also why adult children of alcoholics often become either like super over the top responsible, or they throw in the towel when nothing matters, and they're not responsible at all. That also comes out of this. And also, adult children of alcoholics are often really confused, and I'll tell you that was definitely the case with me, because, and this is again why I wanted to bring this whole conversation up, is because stereotypically things are often just, you know, very extreme, and that's also obviously very hard. But hearing from somebody who just came from like this regular existence in a 3-bedroom ranch, you know, when it looked, you know, from the outside looking in, it looked like, oh, there go the Quinns to a, you know, whatever, you know, New York City for the day, or, you know, they have it, you know, and it was such a mix because it looked like that from the outside looking in, when it was hell behind closed doors a lot. And this is what's so confusing, because there were some good times. I mean, my dad coached my baseball team. I was good at sports, and he definitely encouraged that. And probably my number one best memory of my dad is skiing. I have a love of skiing, because he started that. He would take me skiing, and I learned to love it. And now all 5 of our kids ski, and so there's the good stuff, but then there's the mixed in. He was an abusive drunk. I mean, he was, You know, he really was, and it can be very confusing for a child. Like, do you love me today, or are you gonna hit me today, or do you love me today, or are you gonna say horrible, mean, you know? Because when he got drunk, he could be really, really over the top, mean, scathing, a bully, honestly. And then, of course, there was the physical abuse, which, that in and of itself. Um, Remember, we're not talking about blaming here. I'm explaining, just like very Wayne Dyer. Don't complain, don't explain. Way past that. The idea is I'm really truly just trying to help channel value, because I know what it's like to not feel that. That is what my mission is. That's it. It's very genuine. And that said, I just was so confused as a kid, because we'd have close moments on the chairlift, and have these nice discussions, and then I get a whap in the head or thrown into a wall. And as you know, is when I was 16, he actually picked me up and threw me head first into a solid wood dresser. So it's confusing, and then there was all the baseball memories and going out for ice cream. It's just so screwed up. And then there's, the part of, all the enabling. It was just so twisted in an addicted home. There's all the enabling energy going on, because my mother had some severe mental health issues, and there was all kinds of dynamics around that just did not protect the kids at all, and it's just very, very confusing. So that's the point. So when we grow up and become adults, we're confused as far as what love is. We definitely feel like we have to earn it, no question. Which I told you sort of became and was groomed to be a human doing, because I felt like I had to work for it. I had to work for people to like me. I had to work even from my own self to feel like a good person. I felt like I just had to constantly be doing good things. And obviously it's important to do good things, though when you're getting your self-worth out of there, that's about something different. And just the mirroring that went on. So, the good part, it all came out really, really, really well. And it can come out really well for anyone when you do the work and you surround yourself with good people, and you just work at kind of putting a lot of that back as an adult and learning, working yourself through being enough as you are, and being worthy of love just as you are, without doing a thing. Without doing a thing, you are enough. And boy, when you come into that place as an adult, it's really, really meaningful. It's really meaningful. And I think the contrast of not feeling valued to feeling valued may in some ways be more meaningful. In some ways, I don't know, because I don't know it the other way around. But wow, just the love and kindness that was poured into me from so many good people is, absolutely, the reason that I'm here today. Being able to hopefully channel value to other people, because that is the idea. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It's all about the ACOA, being confused, seeking approval and affirmation, and then, hopefully doing the work and seeking out, the good people, and the mirroring, and then the mirroring of your own value to yourself as a grown-up. All right, this is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the gorgeous northern Vermont. Have a mindful, very valuable day.